Did you know that there's a secret in regards to creating a long-term love affair? Hi, I'm David Essel, relationship coach, author, minister, and so much more. And I want to share with you today this really cool story from a client. Actually, this happened about 4 or 5 years ago. A woman walked in and she sat down and she said, "Okay, David, you know what? I am ready for the deepest of all loves. I want that amazingly magic relationship." And so we worked for several weeks together on letting go of her beliefs about men that weren't healthy, that didn't really serve her best interest. The beliefs that she was jaded about men being honest and all these kind of things. And I work with women on this on a regular basis that truly want to find the deepest of love. And we got to this space where she was really, I call it clean, and she was clear-headed about the fact what she wanted, what she would put up with, what she wouldn't. And she was really ready to set some good, healthy boundaries and get back in the dating world. She had taken a number of years off from dating and said, okay, now this is it. So I said, do you know what the secret to long-term love is? Do you know what? I mean, we all know the secret, but we don't talk about it very much. And even those who do the work like this, they know the secret. It's somewhere in the back of their subconscious, but they don't pull it out on a regular basis. And she's looking at me and she said, "No, I don't think I know the secret. If I did, I wouldn't be here, David." And I said, "No, that's not true." Lots of individuals that come in to help with someone like myself, they know the answers. We just help them remember. So I said, well, I'm not going to tell you the secret right now, but this is what I want you to think about. Do you know of any couple in this world that has that long-term love, that deep love, not just the puppy love in the beginning and then it disappears, but it actually has stayed for years and years and years? And she looked at me and she was thinking, she goes, "Oh my gosh, yes." And I said, "Who?" And she said, "My grandparents." I said, "Tell me the story." So she said, "Oh, well, they met when they were very young and they got married right away. Of course, that was against all their parents' wishes. They wanted them to wait into court back in those days for a long time, but they decided they were ready for marriage." And she goes, "And they've been married for over 60 years now." I said, "Have you ever asked your grandfather or your grandmother what their secret was?" And she said, "Yes." She said, "I can't believe you're asking me this because I've totally forgotten about this conversation." I said, "What was his secret?" She said, "Well, my grandfather looked at me one day and said, 'Here's the secret to love. Every day, since the day I've married your grandmother, every day I get up and I say one prayer. And that prayer is this: Dear God, allow me to do more for my wife today than she could ever imagine possible. Amen.'" And then he said, and I would get out of bed and I would go and do just that. Isn't that a beautiful story? And she got up and walked out of the office that day. She had tears in her eyes, recalling her grandfather telling her the story, and she shifted dramatically. We worked together for another several weeks, and every time she came in, she was in a different space. She was in a more secure place within inside herself. And then at the end of our time together, she went out and she had just started dating a guy, and I don't know what happened to it because I haven't had a chance to follow up. It's been a number of years now, but I know that she grasped the secret to long-term love. He woke up and said, "Allow me, God, to do more for my wife today than she could ever imagine possible." If you're in a relationship right now and you're thinking about how is it that I could go deeper in my love, let's think about what we can give to our partner versus what we need or want to receive from our partner. If you're single and you're thinking about getting into a relationship, remember this story. And maybe even from the beginning of the relationship, just go ahead and jump without the net being there and do more for your partner than they could ever imagine possible. Now, I'm going to give a caveat here. I'm not talking about, like laying down your life and giving everything and not having the communication in order to build strength and trust. I'm not talking about being foolish with love, or being taken advantage of, or being abused and emotionally in a relationship or physically. I'm not talking about that. But I am talking about thinking about giving more than you receive in love. And you know what happens in almost all the cases where I've worked with people who have this attitude is that they receive more back than they could have ever imagined. If I can help you in any way, one-on-one, through books, CDs, all the work that we do, please visit talkdavid.com. If you're not a subscriber, go to YouTube under Super Slowdown and subscribe, and take this video. If you know someone who's struggling in love, or maybe they need to strengthen their love relationship, or maybe they're single and they're jaded about love, go ahead and share this video. Let's get these messages out there. Okay, and again, if I can help you in any way whatsoever, I'd love to. I'm David Essel, wishing you an awesome day.